The Order of Sunspears are a presence which, if you've, you may or may not know about them. They were founded by Queen Nafalje during the Primeval Dynasty. This was a dynasty within Alona between 200 BE before Exodus and 452 AE after Exodus. Yeah, she created the Order of Sunspears to protect Alona from any threat. Well, then once they're established as the most prominent defenders that Alona had. After the Primeval Dynasty ended in the Scarab Plague. During the Scarab Plague, the Order of Sunspears helped to evacuate people from Astan during the Scarab Plague, and then about 100 years later helped resettle Astan. Because the Scarab Plague only lasted 4 years, but 4 years was enough to destroy the Primeval Dynasty. After that, the Alona split into 3 provinces of Istan, Korna and Vabi. The Sunspears, originated from Istan, they did not follow the rulers of any one province. They only answered to their spear marshals. But they did respect the authority of each individual province. Where if the province would prefer for their own defenders to take over a certain case or something, the Sunspears will respect that. But all of Alona and Alona citizens knew that Sunspears were the best at defending Alona. So the Sunspears, they're thought of as chosen by the gods. Alona, as a continent as a whole, is a very god-loving civilian. They're very god-loving. As god-loving as Or, one might think. Definitely more than Kryta is. So the Sunspears, they're chosen by the gods to be the champions of Alona. To protect Alona citizens, not biased upon boundaries or invisible walls. During the events of Nightfall, the Sunspears accidentally freed Palawa Joko. They did this so that they could learn how to traverse the desolation, the sulphur wastes of the desolation. And this led to them learning how to use the Janunju, the desert worms, where, as explicitly described in one of the maps by a ghost in the desolation, the Sunspears would allow themselves to be eaten by the Janunju so that they could traverse through the crystal desert, and then the Janunju would spit back out again. That is literally what Palawa Joko told them to do. The Sunspears also helped Palawa Joko regain more of his forces back, because at the events of Nightfall, Palawa Joko had been imprisoned in his monument for 200 years. So the Sunspears helped Palawa Joko regain his generals back, regain his forces, reconquered his bone palace, establish his dominance a little bit more, in order to learn how to traverse desolation and get to stop Abaddon in time. The Sunspears managed to stop Abaddon to some extent. I actually haven't played that far through yet. And then Spear Marshal Cormyr became the goddess of truth to replace Abaddon. The only way that mortals could stop the god. And then 60 years later, when no one's looking, because, Palawa Joko, he's not a threat, he's barely managing to organised 20 mummies in a straight line. Palawa Joko conquered Alona, and after conquering Alona, he set out to wipe out the Sunspear Order. He actually promised wealth, prosperity, life, everlasting life to the Sunspears. Every Sunspear came across, and some of them took it. The Sunspears that took Palawa Joko's offer, they became the Mordant Crescent. And the Mordant Crescent, sought out other Sunspears to either turn them to Palawa Joko's or Palawa Joko's gain and turn them into Mordant Crescent, or kill them. Once they were dead, Palawa Joko was able to rise them up as the Awakened. Current day in Guild Wars 2, there's not many Sunspears left. Nowhere near as many as they were when Palawa Joko was still in his tomb. Nowhere near as many as they were when Palawa Joko's first attempt to conquer Alona and the Sunspears are fighting against them. You can come across Sunspears in the open world, just stumbling upon them by accident. Not many of them still have much hope that they would be able to stop Palawa Joko, at least anytime soon. The scattered Sunspears still uphold their oaths. They still defend civilians of Tyria. They still fight Palawa Joko.